My name is Jonas Hoping from B12 Group, and I feel very privileged to stand before you here today on this almost beautiful day in Munich at this prestigious Digital Signage Summit. Today, I would like to share some insights about a journey that is not only transforming a corporation, but also redefining industries. And today, I will guide you through our presentation with the topic Best Practice Siemens, a roadmap for digital transformation. So, as we continue to explore our depths of the digital transformation, I have the pleasure to introduce you to two key individuals who are instrumental in driving this change. First, I would like to introduce you to Tim Brachert. Tim is the creative director at B12, and his creativity and vision have been instrumental in developing digital solutions that are not only aesthetically appealing, but also functionally outstanding. And his expertise in combining technology and design is a key factor in our journey to digital excellence. So Tim is not alone. We have also Julian here. Julian is from our valuable partners at PAVE, and he's the head of IT at PAVE. And his leadership and strategic insights in managing complex IT ecosystems have been crucial in our partnership. So to give you a short overview about what we do, I would like to present you a short show reel which highlights all the things we did for Siemens during last year. So to give you some more background information, what we actually did for Siemens, our cooperation started back in 2018 at the Erlangen location with a headless CMS project and along with the motion control business unit. Expanded quite a lot during the global pandemic, and now we are established along all parts of the Siemens supply chain. But you're probably wondering how we achieved all that, and therefore we have to claim, stop, no data, no party. So without the correct data orchestration, all that you have seen wouldn't be possible. And to give you an explanation how our CMS system works and which problems we can tackle with it, I would like to invite our next speaker to tell you our story firsthand. So let me introduce you to Mark Menzinger from the Digital Experience Project at Siemens.
So, thank you, Jannis. Thank you, B12. Thank you, colleagues. And thank you for the DSS organization team to have the opportunity to share our experiences at Siemens today here with you. My name, Mark Menzinger. I'm from Digital Industries at Siemens and especially working on our digital experience projects. And I'd like to start by giving you some insights regarding the challenges we faced back in 2018 when we started this project together with B12. And perhaps some of you will recognize the challenges we faced back in the days or even today when we look at them. For our fair participations worldwide, for our campaigns and events, and for our showrooms, we create great contents and assets. But at the same time, we also ask ourselves, how can we bring them to the regions afterwards? How can we reuse them? How can we bring them to the sales organizations for further usage? So our first question was, how can we reuse content in a sustainable way? And well, great content needs state-of-the-art digital signages. And that's the reason why we are here. That's what you will discuss on the next 2 days, because content has to be impressive. It has to shine. It has to fly in some ways to have really an impact. But we also have to be aware about, at the same time, about the different requirements, most likely because of the technical infrastructure where we use them, sometimes about the assets itself, sometimes even the user in front of the device who is using it. So the second question was, how can we achieve hardware independence? And that, more or less, brings us directly to, perhaps for us, the biggest challenge at the end. And that was, how can we display every asset at every device at any point and any time when we need it? So perhaps some of you will recognize these kind of challenges. And here is a glimpse about the devices and environments I just mentioned, but also about the differences. In some cases, you can see it directly. We have situations where we have them with sound available, without sound. We have some cases where we have standard devices in place, touch devices, gestures in the future with AR glasses and so on. So a lot of differences here. And also in some cases we have guided stations where we have a sales or an expert next to it. In some situations it's just designed to be a self-experience for the customer. But something all of these stations has in common is we want to play the same asset and contents on these devices. And let's have a look on these assets we have to orchestrate. And yeah, when you look at the screen, there are some usual suspects. Everyone knows of it. We were talking about PowerPoints, documents, videos, images, and so on. But over the last few years, more and more new assets for us came up as well. We are talking now about native apps, for example. We are talking about software demos we have to present live. We are talking about 3D images we want to present. And definitely Corona was an accelerator in this period of time when that happened. Because just think about these 3D elements. How can we, for example, address topics and content like digital twins, like immersive engineering with our colleagues and partners from Sony, or how to talk about the industrial metaverse just with old-fashioned 2D assets and content. And for these kind of assets and what we had to orchestrate, just some numbers from only the last 12 months what we have done here. Together with B12, we managed nearly 1,000 devices at our fairs and events and showrooms in the last 12 months. We did so in 14 countries where we have placed it. And to achieve this goal, we onboarded and trained over 700 colleagues, not on the front end, only on the backbone to administrate these kind of devices and systems. And with the help of these colleagues, we nearly administrated over 24,000 assets in that time frame. We did so at our fairs. And you see here a picture, it's just 4 weeks ago, where we participated at the Hannover Fair, 4,000 square meters, more than 100 devices, in a server-based, synchronized way where we used it at the Hannover Fair. In 2 weeks, we will be, one too far. In 2 weeks, we will be at the ACHEMA, for example, in Frankfurt. We were also on the Realize Live in the US and in Munich. And the beginning of this year, we were at the CES in Las Vegas, where Roland Busch had the stage together with our partners of NVIDIA and Sony to present our storylines, or even industry shows in China. And at the same time, we also started to roll out our assets into our more than 50 digital experience centers worldwide. Our digital experience centers are our showrooms at Siemens, where sales and experts comes together with our customer direct on site to continue the customer journey, wherever it started, perhaps on the web, perhaps on a fair, perhaps in a webinar. And we do so by continuing our storytelling with the same assets we started the journey with. And with the option in these showrooms, nevertheless, to have further deep dive content available whenever it's needed during a conversation, what's not the case if it's a self-experience station, for example. So, what have we seen so far? I talked a little bit about the asset, the touch point, the requirements to execute our storytelling in a consistent way from web to sales. But for the future, will it be enough just to orchestrate our assets? So for communication and marketing at Siemens, we want to focus and establish also a new modular and flexible way for front ends and visual storytelling, our digital worlds. So here we want to create a visual approach for each individual touch point, like showrooms, like fairs, like events, with the same assets we are using to underline our campaigns, our industries. And we do so by combining it also with our CRM systems to serve the complete holistic customer journey in that case. But this approach brings up more demands than just orchestrate or play out assets. Each of our platforms at Siemens always has to be completely, fully integrated into our IT ecosystem to have a complete 360-degree approach between communication, sales, and marketing. We do so by bringing together our CRM systems and CMS systems, by implement invitation and visitor management applications. We are creating smart data out of big data, and finally, for our visual storytelling, we are configure and transform our assets and context from complexity to clarity. And finally, the scope for us is not only to bring every content to every device. We want to configure and write the right arranged visual storytelling transport to the touch point where it's needed. That's our final goal. And hopefully, by that, we will also create a bridge in the future with our visual storytelling between our internal enterprise metaverse, the social metaverse, where we are talking about avatars, and our offerings around the industrial metaverse and our portfolio at Siemens itself. Some time ago, Siemens launched Siemens Accelerator, our digital business platform to accelerate the digital transformation and the value creation for our customers by bringing together IT and OT systems to become a digital enterprise. And with the same thinking, we want to increase the value outcome of the hard and software we use within digital experiences at Siemens for sales, marketing, and communication by aligning the storytelling for each touch point, and the result would be, as you can see it here, the same visual storytelling on every device. With our partners, B12 and PAVE, we form a strong backbone to solve these kind of demands. And here in the center, the CMS system to administrate and operate our content, to execute our events online and on-site, and also to orchestrate our front end and apps, and doing this by implement them into our IT ecosystem and further applications. So let's recap and think about the three questions at the beginning, what we have achieved here over the last few years. Now we are able to reuse and archive all of our data from the events to the showrooms to the sales organization. We are also achieved the goal of device independence, even if it's mobile, touch, web, or wherever it's needed. We are also possible to distribute all our asset and storytelling to the regions, sales, and other touch points as well. And finally, and this is something important for us as well, now we can control the performance not only of our assets and content, but also of our devices and how they are used. So this is what we have done in the past together with our partners. No data, no party. You have seen it. Janus, I think now we are coming to the fancy stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So
thank you.
Thank you, Mark, for really showing us your insights. We're really glad to have you here today. Yeah, I'm really looking forward what else the future will bring to us. So we gave you a rough idea how our CMS system works and what it is capable of, but we will also want to show you what we are able to do when we are not only responsible for orchestrating all the data, but also we want to show you what happens when we can be creatively active. And therefore, we brought a good example, which is Impact Showroom in Erlangen. The Impact Showroom in Erlangen has already welcomed over 6,300 visitors. And to show you our journey from data to real experience, I would like to ask my dear colleague Tim to take over now.
Thank you very much, Janus. Okay. So, the Impact in Erlangen, the showroom, is actually one of my favorite projects that we did in the last years for Siemens. And for me as a design enthusiast, I don't think about data in the first place. What I think about more is stories, is what moves people, is how to create experiences, how to create emotions For me, data, it has to be more like a substructure that enables stories, and not. It has to be like a pool of possibilities rather than a jungle of obstacles, for example. And at the Impact in Erlangen, we were, thanks to our headless TMS and to the connection to Siemens, we were able to use data to create stories because it was easy to handle and it was always in the right place. So together with Siemens, we created this comprehensive customer journey. We asked them first what data is available, what systems are available to use, and what the story is they want to tell, what the key messages of the showroom, what they show, what people want to see there. And we created this uniform graphic appearance then. We created this guiding visual that was guiding visitors through those several thousand square meters. I think more than 2,000 square meters in total. And thanks to data, we could pre-visualize how it's going to look like, what the visual appearance will be, what it will feel like, get a feel for the journey beforehand and make decisions. And the showroom is about experiencing real machines. That's the core message, is trying out real machines, getting your hands on real machines, on real software that you can really see. It's getting in touch with people. It's about the combination of hardware and software, combining the real and the digital worlds, basically. And the tour, the customer journey, not only starts on site, it already starts beforehand with the registration. Then it goes to the journey on site and even to the sales aftercare. And all of this was possible thanks to connecting our systems like our headless content management system with already existing Siemens systems like CRM and Salesforce, as Mark already mentioned. And that made it possible that, for example, each visitor could see his own company name at the entrance, on a screen at the entrance, right before the tour. And things like this are nice examples of how data can actually enable emotion and create individual experiences. And we did not only have a tour and a customer journey, it was actually multiple tours on the same rooms, the same devices, but you had to be able to dynamically switch assets and content for different stakeholders. We had several stakeholders, and even on the same days, there had to be different content on the same devices. And sometimes, for example, even for special customers, you had to, in the very morning, adjust the screens and throw on different new content. And these things, this dynamic use of asset, these individual experiences, these are the things that visitors will remember after the journey. And so for me, the most important part basically is the right asset at the right moment for the right people. At the Impact, we played all kinds of media on all kinds of output footage. We had more than, or roughly about, 40 screens, touch screens. We had special exhibit. For example, we had an interactive touch table where people could learn about the Siemens technology on their own first. We had an interactive RFID touch application where you could, table where you could place RFID tagged objects, and according to the object, different assets were shown on the screens. All kinds of assets like slides, images, videos, or interactive applications, as you can see in the video here. And these interactive applications, like WebGL applications, for example, this is something that Mark already mentioned. It's the using apps also as kind of assets that you have to control and be able to manage and play. And using WebGL applications had the benefit that you could reuse them later on any kind of device to be device independent and simultaneously on the web, for example. We also had a VR station that was putting the finger on the industrial metaverse topic that was very important for Siemens in the location in Erlangen. And also this makes it possible to have some kind of a digital counterpart of the Impact showroom, the real one, which was basically the digital twin of the showroom. And it was using the same assets that was stored in the CMS. It created the same customer journey and it told the same storyline. But it was also device independent, accessible at any time from anywhere for anyone, basically. My favorite part, though, of the whole story, the customer journey, was the cinema. And it was showing, it was in the beginning, it was showing an image clip of the showroom. And in the end of the image clip, there was a part where things the whole showroom, as it is in reality, was constructed in 3D for the viewers. It was built together. And in the back of the cinema, there is this smart glass wall, as you can see here. And in the very moment where in the 3D animation on the screen, the lights turned on, also the smart glass wall switched and the real lights in the real showroom turned on, timed to the video that come from the content management system and was connected to the hardware of the room. And this was a very cool, wow, eye-catcher moment that really every visitor basically liked and remembered. And the guide tablet is also a very important part for the whole showroom, because every guide has a guide tablet, and with the guide tablet you can log into a room, control the whole room according to what the customer, change the looks and the feels, and you can play assets on the fly on all the screens there were. So if a special customer is interested in a certain topic, then you can play, I don't know, trigger real Siemens software or deep dive into a certain topic. And also you can trigger assets that weren't actually made for the showroom in Erlangen, that were maybe made for Hannover Fair, also here in the showroom, and vice versa if you want. You can, if you are on a fair somewhere in the world, you can also use assets that were made for the showroom in Erlangen, for example. And what I really wanted to have, because for me it's a really important part to create an immersive and cool customer journey, is to be able to use light and sound to all things that are existing for humanity to receive. And I really wanted to be able, the guide tablet to be able to control all these things. And in the end, it was made possible thanks to our partners, right, Jannis?
Thank you, Tim. It's always great to hear you talking about this project and giving us so many insights. So that's your applause.
Yeah.
So to quickly summarize again, what we have shown you is that we can create innovative data, we can create great customer journeys, and we can connect data to user experiences. But as Tim has already mentioned, just ideas and visions are not worth much without a proper implementation. And therefore, we are really lucky to have a good partners in PAVE. And therefore, I would like to ask Julian to present his company and his work.
Thank you. So, thank you. My colleagues from B12 are now talked a lot about the tablet and its tasks. Now I would like to build a bridge to the hardware, where PAVE comes into play. We are based in Nuremberg and bring together many specialists from the project management, from the permanent installation, events and software under one roof. In short, we are the ones who bring what B12 imagines into the hardware reality. As a result, we generate the advantage of a holistic approach for customers in collaboration with B12, from the idea to planning, from digital to real implementation, in order to enable ideas that can be touched and experienced. Let's talk briefly about the video. As you have seen, there are no limits to the ideas here, starting with the central control of the room. The customers enter the room, the light setting puts them into the right mood. Also, the cinema hall, they walk there in, and then was shown a video, like Tim already said, There is a video shown to them, and after that, the transparent glass let them look through directly into the room. Pretty cool transition to start the journey here. Also one of my favorite parts. You can also see the lighting control system that illuminates the relevant exhibits to the customers to divide between the different tours. This is where we can demonstrate our strength in the area of permanent installation and concepts and provide our customers with full support from the initial idea due to regular maintenance. Let's have a little bit look here on the side about the proto box, which is so beautifully presented here on stage. The box itself is not a big deal, so we can create a customer journey and experience with it. As you currently see here, there's an avatar in the box, but you have also the possible chance to place people in the box here with a video chat or video conference. Perhaps someone remembers the Hannover Messe 2023, where Chancellor Olaf Scholz was in the box and in the video setup, and he could be anywhere in the world at this time. For physical products, it's of course ideal to have this box with you and to bring a catalog of all your products with you all the time. Siemens have already did this on their last trade show. But to give you a little bit more of an example about the box, I would like to hand over to Jannis again. Thank you.
Yeah, also Julian, thank you. We're really glad to call you as our partners. And also thanks that you mentioned already the Protobox, which is just another great example to combine new technology and great hardware. And yeah, let me introduce you to one of our newest colleagues, Lisa. She's AI-based, and let me ask her a couple of questions. So Tim, let me please follow me that everyone can hear her.
Hopefully now this time it works, because it's been quite noisy in the room and that makes it hard. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Hey Lisa, can you tell me something about digital signage?
Sure. Digital signage refers to electronic displays that show information, advertising, and other messages often used in public spaces.
Yeah, perfect. So this already worked, and let me be a little bit more specific with the next question. Hey Lisa, can you show me some assets from the Siemens accelerator, please?
I provide information about Siemens accelerator on screen.
Perfect. So let me just quickly scroll through them. As you can see, this is just another great example. What happens when we can show the right assets at the right moment to the right people and also combine it just with new technology as AI. But before I come to a conclusion to end this presentation, I would like to thank all my speakers that joined me here today. First of all, thanks to Tim for sharing all your insights about data and design. Thank you, Julian. We are glad to have you, that you can present all our partnership and cooperation. And also really a big thankful, where is he? Thanks, Mark, for bringing us your insights about our journey with Siemens. So, as promised, a short conclusion. We have shown you that we are the perfect partners to create innovative data, create great customer journeys, store and orchestrate data, and we can also play just a part in your already existing ecosystem. And we can rely on strong partners for the implementation, thanks to PAVE.